We're going to be in Psalm 90 today, Psalm 90 today. And this is the year that's going to be different. How many times have you thought that or said that or just, I've gone through this, I've had these struggles year after year, but this year, this is the year that's going to be different. And if we do a rewind and we go back to the beginning of the year, many people made what we call resolutions. The only time that we talk about that word the entire year. This is my resolution. I'm resolved to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So I look back this past year to see what my New Year's resolution was. And I know this can sound boastful, but my New Year's resolution was to gain 5 pounds. I did it. So, I know, brag a little bit, right? If you aim low with your New Year's resolutions, you avoid the big disappointments. And then you just can kind of move on with your life and feel better about it. But we mark time through the months, we mark time through the days, and we mark time, and all of a sudden, boom, the year is gone. And whether we are in high school, and all of a sudden it's, I've gone from being an underclassman to an upperclassman, or going from an upperclassman to, oh my goodness, I'm going to graduate soon. Whether we go from, I'm going to graduate from high school, oh, now it's time to graduate from college. And then we go, oh my goodness, this is the year that I'm getting married. This is the year I'm having my first child. This is the year I'm having my 5th child. This is the year I became a grandparent. This is the year, whatever it might be. It goes so much more quickly. It's like boom, 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 boom. But here's the thing that they found. Within resolutions, people aren't making resolutions anymore. You know why? They're literally too busy to make resolutions. Our life is just so jam-packed with stuff and craziness that we just don't take the time to pause. Jeff and I were sitting in the back before we came out here. And I said, I kind of like that you're just going acoustic today. But when I walked in, it was just him. He's like, hey, just me. And I'm like, just me too. We're good to go. He's like, I got a guitar. I'm like, I got a Bible. That's all we need. Right? And it was just nice to slow down. He's like, but it's just the busyness, and you look at it, and we're going and we're going and going. When do we ever hit the pause button? But you know what? This year will be different. This year will be different because I'll hit the pause button. This year will be different because I'll spend more time with my kids. This year will be different because I'll lift my spouse up. This year will be different because I'm going to finally really find that special someone that God has for me. This year will be different because I'm going to be strong enough to make that pledge that I'm going to step out and start a business. I'm going to find a new job. I'm going to move into a new house. Whatever it is that God has on your heart. But what we find many times is that we make these resolutions, they come up in our minds, they come up in our hearts, and they never get done. Why is that? Why is it we say in our heart that this year will be different, and yet it kind of ends up being the same? We kind of go through that same period of time where all of a sudden we're like, man, this month of January, I'm going to pray more. And I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. And then on Monday, we get it up, and the coffee's ready, and we have that first cup of coffee, and we're like, I'm going to read through the Bible in a year. Who's ever made that pledge before? This year, I'm going to read through the Bible in a year. Okay, and this is what ends up happening. You start reading it, and it gives you like, okay, I'm going to read from Genesis, then I'm going to read from Matthew. And then you start going, and I'm going to read from Psalms, and then one day you run into this unbelievable thing that you just can't get over. It's this huge obstacle, and it's known as Leviticus. That's a book in the Bible for something, just, But you go through and they start telling you things, and some of it kind of freaks you out a little bit, and other parts of it's like, I'm not getting any of this. Like, why is this book even in the Bible? Because, okay, so if my neighbor does this to me, I'm supposed to chop their arm and then feed it back to them after I chop it off. And I actually wouldn't mind that because I've got some weird neighbors. But am I allowed to do that now because I'm not sure? And then we start going through the sacrifices and how you do the sacrifices and the order of the sacrifices. And you start with the big animals and the small animals. And you realize, I don't have any animals. Oh, that's why I do have neighbors. They have animals. Maybe I could sacrifice their dog or whatever it might be. And so we get stuck. And the next thing we know, we're not reading through the Bible in a year. 5 a.m., we start hitting the snooze button once, then twice, and 3 times. Then we just stop setting the alarm altogether. Then July 4th hits. That's the other season in Ohio. You have winter and the 4th of July, right? Then we get back, and oh my goodness, school's going to be starting soon. Then we have to get ready for Halloween. Then the families come together for Thanksgiving. And then we're celebrating Christmas. And then we're right back to here. We look back, and this is what we say. Man, where'd the year go? What happened to it? It's like gone. And then we have, as we talked about last week, having children. We have these little children in our life, whether it's a grandchild, or whether it's a niece and nephew, whether it's a cousin, whether it's your own child. And we watch them, and every day is like a year to them. They go and they go and they go, and they're just like these Energizer bunnies, and they just run around, they have so much fun, and then boom, they just they wear out, and then they get up the next day and they start all over again. And you're like, every day is so much of enjoyment to them. They just enjoy the time. But see, to a 5-year-old, 1 year is 20% of their life. To a 50-year-old, 1 year is 2% of their life. And that's why, even though the earth has been spinning the same, it just seems like it's going faster and faster and faster and out of control. If you're a student right now, I'm telling you, I can't stress this enough, enjoy the time. It goes quickly. If you're in sports, enjoy the games. They go quickly. If you're in the band, enjoy the performances. They go quickly. If you're going to be in a play or something this year, whatever it might be, enjoy it. Because this year is going to be different. That's if you choose or I choose. Now, why is it then that this year is going to be different? Because for each one of us, that's a choice we have to make. But here's what we have to remember when it comes to this year. A lot of times we make goals for stuff. There are things that we look at, and then a few months into it, we realize, yeah, I probably made too big of a goal. You know, this was the year I was going to lose 20 pounds. And then halfway through the year, we've only lost 5. And then we're discouraged. We're like, oh, you know, I wanted to lose 20. And I've only lost 5, so I'm not going to be able to lose 5 more. And the holidays are coming up, and you know what? I'll just get to that next year. And so we put 10 more on by the end of the year. Then you hit my goal of gaining 5 pounds, right? Great goal. You guys should try it. Who's in with me this year? 3 of them? Oh, no, we like that one. There we go. As we're gaining that, and then we start over. Oh, I ended up 5 pounds heavier. I was actually 5 pounds behind. And now, you know what? This year I'm going to lose 25 pounds. And the same thing goes through. This year I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And every year we're discouraged by it. So we choose something else the next year. I'm going to quit smoking. Oh, you smoke now? End of the year, though, reach my resolution. Right? Makes it easy. Aim low, avoid disappointments. There we go. We're going to have these resolutions. There's things that we want to change. And one of the most amazing things is that people will say this. This is the year I'm going to get closer to God. This is the year I'm going to volunteer more. This is the year I'm going to put myself aside and I'm going to help others more. I just named you the 3 resolutions that are most broken every single year. You know why? Because there's no time to it. We haven't paid anything for that. You know, when I volunteer, they're not going to miss me anyway. I mean, I really don't do much when I'm there anyway, and I'm not getting paid for it, and so, you know, that's not that big of a deal. And with God, I'm already forgiven, so I can kind of move on. I can push that to the, you know, behind, even though it's important for a little while. And so each year, these are the things that we look at, and we decide we want to invest into others, and many times it comes back onto us. And what it is, and here's the bottom line, you're sitting down for this, it's because we are so busy and we're so selfish. That hurts a little bit, doesn't it? But we all are. I'd really like to help my neighbor out, but I got to tell you, man, I got something else that's really, really important right now. I'd really like to spend some time with my kids, but man, I tell you what, this thing that I'm doing, it's big. It's big, big. I'd really like to go on a date with my spouse. I'd really like to schedule that. You know, I've scheduled so many other things this week, and you know, my time's too valuable. And so because of that, all of the most important things that we have in our life, our relationship with God, our relationship with our spouses, our relationship with our kids, and then our relationship with everyone else falls by the wayside. And we're left waiting, and we're left wanting. But this year will be different. How is it it's going to be different? Well, I'm going to show you today. We're going to dive into Psalm chapter 90, verse 12. Psalm 90, verse 12. Moses is writing a psalm. This is the oldest of the Psalms. The psalm is broken into 5 different sets of books, and this is starting the 4th portion of it. And it's interesting that the 90th Psalm is also the oldest of all the Psalms, obviously, because Moses wrote it. But as he is writing this, Moses is literally walking with all these people around a desert because they are on what we know as the Exodus. So when you did your Bible reading for a year, that book that you read on Exodus, that's what they're talking about. And this is where the Psalm was actually penned from during this time. And so Moses is going through, and he is taking a look at life. And he is taking a look not just for himself, but for everyone around him. And he's saying, hey, you know what, God, you do this, and we do this, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing this. Basically, these people that he is with, that they're with, are heading out to this promised land, and he's writing all these words down based on his relationship with God. But he's not keeping them to himself. See, at this time, you didn't write these down and then hand it out to everyone. You shared it orally. So a lot of times they would do it in a song, or they would do it within a sermon. In fact, the book of Deuteronomy are all of Moses' sermons put together for the things that he shared with people, because he didn't want them to forget them. He wanted them to be able to hand that to the next person. There's one scribe many times that was writing. They would write this in this book. They would put this in this major book together, and they wrote these words down. So this song, even though it was short, was most likely shared as a song so that the kids, the generation after the next generation, would be shared with each one of them. And in the middle of the song, in verse 12, he stops everything he's saying about God, everything he's saying about his wrath, everything that's going on around him, and he says this to them. He says, teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. In your life, there has been one teacher that is above the rest. And usually when you think of that teacher, then it reminds you of another teacher and maybe another teacher. But there's usually that one teacher that you can go, that was the one who brought the best out of me. That was the one who made me laugh. That was the one who I learned from the most. That was the one that was the coolest. That was the one that smiled the most. That was the one that when I walked into that room, I felt special. I felt like I had value for who I am. And that when that class was going on, there was something every single day I looked forward to have that time. For some of you, it may be a teacher, such as a science teacher or a math teacher. It may be a band director. It could be even a coach that you had throughout school. Someone that made you motivated enough that you focused on your sport, but they kept you focused in the classroom as well. It could be a preacher that you had at some point in your life, but there's someone that all of a sudden they brought something out in you that became alive. Something out in you that it made it different. Something out in you that caused you to look differently, to look at people differently, to look at your life differently, to look at the relationship that you have differently. And when you look back on it, you look at it with fondness. And you're thankful for it. And you're blessed about it. Well, how many of these millions of people that were walking across this mass desert where the scenery is not changing looked at Moses that way? Literally, it would be in the millions, because for some of them, he was the only teacher, the only preacher, and the only coach that they had. And so he stops them and he says, listen, I am here for this. I am here to help you and to guide you. But he was also smart enough to know that he would take these words to God. And so the first thing he says is, teach us. And that's for all of us. God's word is for each one of us. It's not just for the Pharisees. It's not just for the religious ones. It's not just for the Sadducees. It's not just for the Jews. It's not just for the chosen people. It's not just for the Gentiles. It's for all of them combined. It's for anyone that wants to know how much God loves them. So this year is going to be different. We have to start by saying, I have to be the one that makes that change. And so Moses is saying to God, teach us. Teach each one of us. There is a teaching moment in here that we choose. And it starts with the power of the one. If you take a look at your bank account, some of you have a ton of money. Okay, let's just say it's $100. You have $100 in a savings account. You can put $100 on a $100 bill, right? One bill, that could show everything you have. But you don't make those $100 until you make one. And you make two. And then you make three. It's one at a time, and one at a time, and suddenly it adds up. So there's power in the one. Now, here we go. Who here, just real quick, their favorite teacher ever was a math teacher? Okay. All right, now watch. You guys are on separate sides. Back, I'm going to use you, and Annie, I'm going to use you. All right? At the same time. This is not rehearsed. Better start praying. All right? At the same time. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I want you to do this. I want you both to count to 5. You ready? You ready? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I mean, this, I'm sorry. Oh, not your mind. Yeah, out loud so we can hear. Okay, here we go. You ready? Now don't show them off. All right, there we go. All right, at the same time, you're going to count out loud to 5. You ready? On 3. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you go. Don't, not on 3, but on 3. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, you did that really fast. Slow down. All right, do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay? Okay, your turn and your turn. She doesn't like touching. There we go. That's. I know. All right, okay, ready? Here we go. On 3. Out loud, too, so we can hear you. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, hold on. Do you want you two to do it, or do you want them to do it? Okay. Oh, you're doing them? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just to prove you guys can do it. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. 2 people that sit on opposite sides of the church. Mother and daughter, husband and wife. Okay, not practiced, right? You guys, we didn't come in for rehearsal, right? They proved first. Before they got to 5, what number did they have to get to? Before they got to 4, what number did they have to get to? Before they got to 3, they had to get to? And before they got to 2, they had to get to? They got there 1 at a time, and it started with 1. So if you're going to make a difference, you've got to start with 1. And there's power in it. For the person that says, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and they start in a great routine, where every day, they're getting up at a decent time, they're drinking water, they're going to bed at a certain time, they're not eating after a certain time, they're not eating, sugar and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. All of a sudden their body's changing, they get in a good routine as far as working out, they're doing it, about 3 months into it, and then they do the dumbest thing they can do, they step on that scale, right? And they look at it, and they're thinking, man, all this work that I've done, and that's it? That's all that happened? That's why when you gain 5 pounds, you're like, I'm on pace, man, this is great. I can go all that, right? But when you lose it, it stops it. And we stop everything. Even though we've changed and we feel better, and for like 3 months, we finally got on that, and it's in our routine, and you know what happens? It gets out of our routine, and we go right back to things we've always done. And next thing you know, it's July 4th, and that's Halloween, and Thanksgiving, and the holidays are coming up, and then next year is going to be different. There is power in 1. You have to be that 1. Teach us, Moses says to God. So if you are someone that desires to get closer to God, if you're someone that wants to volunteer, if you're someone that just wants to love others that come into your life, it starts with 1, and you are that 1. There's power in it. When you accepted Christ, there's power in that. You have Him, you get the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All at once. You get all of those to live through you. There's power in that 1. So teach us. Teach us to number our days. Moses shares that. Teach us to number our days. Okay, here we go. Trick question, Tammy. What is today? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Were you in prayer? Here, if I ever come up to you in service and I interrupt you and you're like really busy, just do this. Just go, amen. Like I interrupt you and pray. I'm sorry. You're actually more purple than your shirt right now. All right, I know, it's a trick question, right? All right. So what did you call today? New Year's Day. Okay. All right, you ready, Jacob? Come up with what today is in a different term than what he said.
January 1st.
January 1st. Can anyone else come up with a difference between those two? Speaking of tongues, the Hebrew what? Give me one. What? Sunday, right? There's all different ways that we can look at this day. Here's the thing. Today, this is your day. You choose how much power you want to have God through this. Wake up, all right? Here we go, right? This is your day. You get to make the most of this day. And there's power in it. There's power in it if God is leading it. There's power in it if you're allowing God to lead it. And if there's power in it because you are going to choose to make this year different by making this day different because you are going to put God first in that day. And here's the thing about it. That's the second part. There's momentum in it. We get momentum. We have so many negative things that go on in our life. People wear us out. They say stupid things. People are angry all the time. We go into stores and it happens every single time. You have to choose the lane that you want to go into, that you want to go. Okay, we're going to take this lane. Deanna's got this down, but she goes, you go stand in that lane, and I'll stand in this lane. Whichever one's the fastest, we'll kind of get through, but that's most of the time because we lose the special card in the store, and we have to find it, and then we end up finding it too late, all that kind of stuff. But you always choose the wrong lane, right? Who always chooses the wrong lane? When's the last time you chose the right lane and you're like, hey, I chose the right lane? The power of one. Thank you, God. We don't do that, do we? We constantly focus on the negative. Here's the thing with the power of one. There's also power of momentum. Where all of a sudden a game is going, and you're like, man, we are stuck in this game. Things are going badly. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a fumble. Boom, there's an interception. Boom, there's a strikeout. Boom, there's a home run. Boom, there's a goal. Whatever it might be, and it just changes everything around. Boom, there's an injury. Boom, the coach makes a bad choice as a time for a timeout. It changes everything. There's power and momentum. But too many times we focus on that negative. Here we go. We're all going to stand on the scale together. We look down. I wanted to lose 20 pounds, and I've only lost 5. Isn't that what we focus on? I only lost 5 pounds. You know, I put 20 pounds up there. It was stupid. I should have said 10. No, I said 20. So I'm just going to give up now, right? We don't focus on, man, I'm feeling so much better. We don't focus on, well, you know what? I'm actually going to sleep at a decent time. I woke up at a good time in the morning. I have so much more energy. I'm so much more focused. I'm actually recognizing people when I'm walking places because I was so tired before, but I smiled at someone today. And they smiled back. That hasn't happened in a year. You know why? Because this year's going to be different. And then how it's going to happen is because I'm going to focus on the power of one and his power of one through me. And I'm going to focus on that positive momentum. As Moses is walking around the desert, there's millions of people that are walking around with him. The scenery is never changing. And he's got to motivate them every single day. There's only so many magic tricks he knows. There's only so many songs that they can sing together. He has got to say, listen, teach us, God, to number our days. Because here's the thing. Every day, the momentum of that day, you focus on, you can change when you will give it to God. But know this, your days and my days are numbered. Your days and my days are numbered, and we don't know the last number. We don't know if it'll be January 1st, or Sunday, or New Year's Day. We don't know. So do we want to walk around the whole day and like, oh, you know what? That person did this, and this person did that, and they did that kind of stuff, and they talk about me this way, and all that. It wears you out. All that negativity just tears you up. It's the same thing as stepping on the scale and going, only 5 pounds? Really? That's it? After all the work that I put in? I haven't lost 5 pounds in 5 years, but I lost 5 pounds in 3 months? We never find the positive in it. Remember what I said at the beginning of the service today? I'm not going to worry about the people that aren't here. I'm excited about the people that are. I'm excited when I see middle schoolers. I'm excited when I see high schoolers. I'm excited when I see friends. I'm excited when I see smiling faces. I'm excited when I see old friends. I'm excited for those things. You know why? Do you know why? Because there's power in one. And because you're choosing to start your day, your year, your Sunday, your New Year's off by listening to Moses say, teach us, teach you and me to number this day. And to number every day. And to not get stuck in all the negative stuff, but man, to look at the positive side of it. To follow that momentum and to go through. Now there's the third part of it. Teach us to number our days. Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So see, there's something about when we continue to do this, there's something that comes from it. This is a promise that God gives us. God's not just going to say, hey, you recognize me today. Good job. Gold star. When you get to heaven, I'm going to show you your chart. You can see all the gold stars, and you put me first. God is relational. Those of you that have grown up, they're like religion, tradition. Some of those things are fine, and they're okay. But don't miss out on the relationship that God has for us and has with us. He says, I will draw close to you if you draw close to me. So in other words, you take this step to me, I'm going to be there. So when Moses says, teach us to number those days, it's not just to number the days, it's to gain a heart of wisdom. Kids, how many times your parents tell you something like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say that again? Are you kidding me? Do they really have to bring this up again? Yes, I get the reminder. Yes, I understand you don't want me to make the same mistakes you made. Yes, you were stupid when you were younger like I am, but I'm not anymore because I have you. And we do those things in our minds. Right? We laugh about it. We know it's true. Because there's going to come a day. There's going to come a day when you're going to say what they said. And you're going to realize, oh my goodness, they were right. And you're going to realize, oh my goodness, she or he was teaching me to number my days. My parents are actually smarter than I thought because they listened to God, and it's the start of wisdom. When we number our days, and when we, with the power of one, use God's momentum in the day, we can't lose. Are we going to have hiccups? Yeah. Are we going to run into stupid people? Duh. Are there going to be people that are going to be angry around us? You bet. Guess what? Don't listen to them. Walk the other way. And you don't have to tell them they're stupid. Everyone else already knows they're stupid around them. Move on with your life. Wouldn't it be great to say, you know what? I sat down next to you and I just realized you are one of the stupid ones. So I'm going to go over and say, like you are, because she's not. We don't do that. We don't have to. We just get up and in our mind, here we go, now we're in thought process. This guy's so dumb. He didn't say a word. He didn't even know what I thought he was dumb, right? He didn't even know today's January 1st. He didn't know it's New Year's Day. He doesn't even know it's Sunday. His wife just told him, just come on, just come with me, jump in the car, we'll go. There is a promise that God gives us when we choose to be taught by Him. When we choose to focus on God's momentum in our day, that at the end of it, He will bring us wisdom. That's a great way to live. We're still going to have struggles? You bet. There's still going to be some tough days? Absolutely. There's still going to be days we feel like we stood on and only 5 pounds? Only 5 pounds? Really? That's it? So whatever it is this year, whatever it is that you choose, whatever it is that you want to make different, whatever this is going to be you that's going to be different, you can do it when you realize that there's a power in that one that He gives us. There's power in that positive momentum that God brings us. And add it, there's a promise that He brings to us day by day by giving us wisdom, giving us godly wisdom, giving us historical wisdom, giving us His wisdom. And when we do that, no matter what the goal is, this year will be different. This year will be different if you focus on those things. So here's the last part, and we're going to wrap this up. I was reading last night, and I was going through a whole thing about resolutions, and how people resolve, and how we do this. So if your resolution is you want to lose some weight, if your resolution is you want to quit smoking, if your resolution is you want to quit drinking, your resolution is you don't want to have an addiction, you don't want to be stuck in, you don't want to be completely lonely, you don't want to be completely discouraged. Maybe you want to start something new. This is the year I'm going to start back into school. This is the year I'm going to finish my degree. This is the year I'm going to choose my college. This is the year I'm going to go into the military. This is the year we're going to, try having children. This is the year, whatever it might be. Whatever it is that God is putting forth before you. You have to make that goal, but you have to tell someone about it. You have to talk to somebody and let them know it's a goal. Because if not, it's just really something that's just kind of floating around in your mind. And then next year when this time comes up, it'll continue to float around your mind. And then the next year it'll continue to float around your mind. If you want to be part of a mission, you've got to choose a mission and you've got to go and be a part of it. I have a young man that we met 30 days ago. And I told him, I said, it's amazing to me the change that took place in the last 4 months. And I literally look around and I feel like all I've done is a whole lot of nothing. The year before that, I felt like, man, it's amazing the things that accomplished, the people diving into, and now it just seems like it's problem after problem after problem. Ever been there? We've all been there. It's called teenagers, raising them, right? No? Okay, good. Yeah. We've all been there at times. We all have those struggles. It could be a financial thing. It could be a relational thing. It could be a personal thing. We've all been there. If you want to focus on the power of the one, if you want to have God's momentum to swing through this, if you want to gain His wisdom, you got to let someone know. You know what? I've always wanted to volunteer in a children's ward. I've always wanted to volunteer at a hospital. I've got a great dog. I want to be one of those people that walks my dog around the hospital. I've always wanted to help out with this mission. I've always wanted to be in a Bible study. I've always wanted, what is it that God's putting on your heart? I don't know, I can't answer that. But I know this. A lot of times, that time with God, that time that we volunteer, and the time that we give Him is the first thing that we give up. So you have got to let someone know. And then you got to meet with them and talk to them about it. So we sat down. I said, okay, the next time, and we did this really fancy, by the way, okay? This is really formal. There was a placemat, okay? Neither one of us had a pen, because this is the, electronic world. Went up and borrowed a pen, took the placemat, wrote his name on one side, my name on the other side, wrote, okay, we're going to do this, and this is the goals to have. And then we're going to get back together in a month. You take yours, I've got mine. And so this Friday, we're going to sit down. Okay, where are you at from a ministry standpoint? Where are you at as far as with your spouse? Where are you at as far as this goes? What did you want to reach this? How are you going on? And I hit this about 100%. I hit that one 30%. I forgot about that one. I had whatever it might be. Okay, good. Let's start over again. You have got to have someone alongside of you with you. You have to. You've got to let them know. So here's your challenge for the day. You ready? You're going to go home. Who wants to go home and eat? Okay, you have to prepare the food. At least half an hour, whatever it might be. Who wants to go home and watch football? See, the Browns and Steelers are playing today. None of you even know, right? I waited for someone to say, who's when Browns and Steelers plays? No one even said it, because it doesn't matter anymore. Listen, the Browns are going for the first pick. You should be excited. Okay? What? Oh, he says they're going to win. Okay, that's fine. We're good. Whatever they do, that's good. All right, now. Whatever it is, you have some type of plan already set in force for today. And I'll guarantee you with it being a holiday, there's family that's going to be involved with it. So you have to do this. You ready? You have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, I want everyone here to count to 5 with me. Out loud, not in your mind. When you hear your voices. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We all started with 1. Have the conversation. Let mom or dad know. Let husband or wife know. Let the kids know. Kids, let your parents know. What is it that you're going to choose this year to make it different? What is it? Because when Moses shared it with all those millions of people, he said, teach us to number this day. Teach us to number this day. I want to look back 365 days from now and say, we taught you to number this day. What did you do with it? And we're not worried about it 365 days from now. We're going to worry about it a day after day after day. The power of the one. That positive, godly momentum, because there is something that He gives us at the end of it. But just like for each one of you, you can't get to 5 until you start with 1. Okay, now I want you to close your eyes for a second. That's what you take a stand. Jeff's going to come up here. He's going to play. Just listen. Teach us to number our days and recognize how few they are. Help us to spend them as we should. Oh, teach us to live well. Teach us to live wisely and well. Teach us to realize the brevity of life so that we may grow in wisdom. Teach us how short our life is so that we may become wise. Teach us to use wisely all the time that we have. Everyone look at me. I just read you the same verse from 5 different versions of the Bible. So if you want to get closer to God, one of those had to speak to you at some point, sometime. Ooh, that brevity of life. Ooh, that, oh yeah, look at my time. Ooh, that wisely part. If you're going to get closer to God, you need to get into His Word that you understand. If you've brought up or been brought up with another version and it's tough on you, I'm going to tell you something. When you get one that you understand, and then you dive back into that version, it's going to make a whole lot more sense. Use them both. But do this. Use them wisely. And start each day off by saying to God, teach me, God. Teach me to number this day so I may see as you see, I may hear as you hear, I may love as you love, and in the end I may gain your wisdom. These next few minutes, as Jeff is just going to play here a little bit, is your time. Just you and God. If you make that choice so that this year will truly be different. Just you and God, if you take this time, Jeff will have